I'm Jeff from Savvier Fitness, and I'm here to show you how to assemble your fitness bar. First up, you'll want to have a clear area, and you'll want to assemble your bar on either hardwood, tile, but it needs to be a hard surface, not carpet and not an area rug, but a hard, flat, level surface, and that way the base of your bar also is flat and level, and not like a wobbly table. You want it to be nice and secure for you, okay? So it's best to watch this video while you're assembling your fitness bar. You can either watch it on an iPad or a laptop and just follow along. The whole thing will take about 20 to 30 minutes, but once you've got it assembled, it goes up and down in a matter of seconds. So I'm going to take this one down to give us some space to work in. All right, I'm going to show you how to do all of this at the end once you have your unit assembled, and you'll see how quickly it goes up and down. All right, so don't worry about watching it this time around, because I'm just going to do it really quickly. You'll see that it has quick release straps and bars that just fold down really easily, and the whole thing will fold down flat so that you can roll it away. So each side has a quick release. And the straps that quick release double to hold everything together so that it's nice and compact and flat. Secure both sides. And then you can simply tilt it up. There are wheels on the front that engage once you tilt it to a certain angle. When you get up to about to here, the wheels engage so that you can wheel it forward or wheel it back. So I'm just going to slide it out of the way for now. Okay, now that we have a clear space, we're going to go ahead and assemble the fitness bar. We'll break the seal on this. You can use either a knife or scissors. And so come on in here and take a look at what we have in the box. So the first step is your instructions. Now you want to read all the instructions before you start the assembly, both the front as well as the back. And that way you're familiar with the steps before we walk through them. Okay? So now let's just take our fitness bar out of the box so we see all of the parts. You'll see the wooden bar. And then we have our weight racks. There's two of our weight racks. We have two of them. And we have our gusset bars. And then we also have down at the bottom, we have our banner, our white banner. And we have a bag with our hardware in it. There we go. And we're going to pull the last parts out, which are the main base legs. All right, so now let's just go ahead and we'll remove a lot of the packaging so that we can begin the assembly process and make sure that we have all the parts. Make sure that you don't have any pets or any kids running around, because there are small parts here, and we want to make sure that they don't run around. So you're going to find in your hardware two brackets. You're also going to find your assembly parts. All right, and then we also have the hex nuts in there. All right. Our weight racks. For last, and we have our two gusset bars, which we'll pull out. So now we're going to unwrap the main upright bars. And we'll want to be careful because there's a couple items that are packaged inside these so that they ship safely. And there's a couple of the other bars. There's the base rod as well as the gusset bar that is hiding inside here. So you'll want to tilt it up just a little bit until you find these. and you'll find that you've got some that has 2 and one that has 1. All right, so we'll set those off the side. Now, one of the things that we're going to look for also is look for an L or an R. So this is the left side, so we're going to put it on our left side. All right, we'll go ahead and continue to take the wrapping off. Now, one of the things that often happens is there's a couple black end caps. Right? They're just decorative end caps, and they oftentimes come off, and you'll find them inside the packaging. So make sure that you do look for those. And we're going to pop those back into place, but for now we're just going to set them off to the side. And we'll unwrap these bars as well. All right. And now your other one, again, we're going to look for a letter. So this is on the right side, so it's going to be placed on my right side. And you'll notice that the wheels are facing outward, so the right on the right side. And again, this one is also going to have a bar on the inside. So I want to make sure we pull that out. Okay. And set it off to the side as well. And then continue to remove the wrap. And again, be careful to see whether or not you have on the black end caps. All right, set that off to the side for now. We have all of our wrapping off to the side. There we go. And make sure that if there was any wrapping that came, each one of these bars is wrapped in plastic, so you should find 3 pieces of plastic as you pull those out. If you didn't, then look inside to see whether or not it might still be hanging up inside. Then our next step is we're going to place these on, and where you find where they're missing is on the short end of the leg. So it's either on the inside here or on the short end over here. So you see there's a matching one here. The short end does not have one on here, so we're just going to insert it in. So it goes in easy, just push it on with a little pressure. And we set these back out. Okay, do the same thing with this one. Take a look, it's going to be on the inside edge, the shortest side. So it's missing again here. So we just put it in and snap it into place. Now we're going to set our bars apart. So just to make sure that you have your uprights and base legs positioned correctly, just double check to make sure that the acorn nuts are on the outside. You have your wheels towards the front, and that acorn nut is also on the outside. And you look over here, again, the acorn nuts are on the outside. Now we're going to remove the straps so that we can begin the assembly process. These just hold the units together while we're assembling. Take the strap off of each one of the legs. And so now we're going to start the assembly process. So we're going to pick up one of the crossbars, and you can recognize the crossbar because it has a slight bend down where the threads are. Okay? And we're also going to pick up 2 of the acorn nuts. Okay? And set one on one side so you're ready, and one on the other side over here. Now, orient the bend as such so that it goes into the second hole from the top, right up here. All right? Second hole from the top. You see it from either side. We just insert it enough to where you can see the threads poke out the other side. Don't insert it in all the way like this. This is way too far. Just insert it enough so you can see the threads coming out the other side. All right? Then just hold it up in place and just finger tighten on the acorn nut. Then we'll come over to the other side and we'll find the matching hole over here. Now on this one, it's the upper hole. It's the top hole. And you'll see the orientation of the crossbar as it slides in. Just enough to get the threads peeking out on the other side. You may have to wiggle it a little bit until the threads peek out the other side. Again, just enough to peek out. And then we'll finger tighten the nut onto the other side over here. Okay, and now we're going to install the second crossbar. It also has the angles as such, and we'll also need 2 of the acorn nuts again. Okay, so 1 on each side. Here we go. We'll start again on the low end hole, and the second one up from the top. And just insert it enough so that you can see the threads coming out the other side. And then start the acorn nut on just finger tight. Now as you come over here to this side, you'll need to lift the bar up a little bit and angle it out in order for it to fit in. And you may need to wiggle it a little bit in order to find that hole. And again, you just want it enough so that the threads just barely pop out, enough to finger tighten this on. Now come back and take a look to make sure that your unit doesn't have these sticking too far out. If it does, then just take and straighten it out. So now we move on to the base rod. Now we're going to slide the base rod on the underneath side here and just rest the other leg down. Now the base rod is going to go into the last hole towards the front here. You can see it over here. You can also see it underneath here. So just look underneath, line it up, and slide it in. Now you have to come back over here to this side and line this hole up, and it should snap in, and where you should be able to see threads coming out on both sides, as such. There we go. And then we take our 2 acorn nuts, and we start them on each side. And again, finger tight on each side. Second nut over here. Finger tight. And then now we're going to move on to the gussets. Okay. Your gussets are identical. Okay, so it doesn't matter which side you have. There's the threaded side on one end. Alrighty, and we're going to place the threaded side down towards us here. And we're going to be going into the bottom, the remaining hole. And you're going to need to have your 2 remaining hex nuts. Okay, so it's this last hole on the bottom here. You can see it on the underneath side here as well. I'm just going to insert the threaded portion into that hole until it sticks out on the other side. And then we just thread our nut onto it, and finger tighten. Come back over here to the other side again. Find the hole that's on the underneath side and slide it in until you see the threads come out the other side. Put your last hex acorn nut on. There you go. Finger tighten. Now you're ready to go ahead and lift it up. So now we're going to go ahead and tilt it on up. Now hold it into place so it doesn't come back down on you. And we're going to come over here and tilt up the first gusset bar. You're going to actually bend it out, but in order to bend it out, you can lever your fingers against the bar so that you can pull the gusset bar out. And just swivel it in until it fits right into that hole right there. So now the unit will stay up on its own, so you can take your hand off it. We're going to go ahead and go to the other side, but go ahead and pick up one of the straps. We're going to install it as we do the other side. All right? So just like the other one, the gusset rod tilts up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find the Velcro end of the strap, the sticky part of the Velcro. And the Velcro is going to be up. Always remember Velcro up. So we thread the hole through, keeping the Velcro up. And then the same way, use your hand to gain some leverage in order to pull the gusset bar out and pop it into place. Now we're going to just line up the hole so it wraps over the top, and that first hole will fit right into the gusset rod. Wrap it around again, and the second hole should fit right over the gusset rod until you come around to the Velcro, and then the Velcro seals it tight. Okay? We'll do the same thing on the other side. Alrighty, so come back over here. Now again, we use our thumb. You can use your thumb to lever out and pull it out this way. Now again, find the Velcro. Okay, here's the Velcro on this side. And we're going to put it so that the Velcro is up. Alright? And again, do your lever out. Drop it in the hole. And bring this on around. Okay? So we have it as such. Now we're going to move on to installing the wooden bar. Okay? So first off, let's unwrap the wooden bar. just take a look. It should have 2 holes on it, 2 inserted threads on each side here. You find those. Now we're going to take one of our nickel-plated brackets, and you'll see there's a hole. We're going to line that hole up with this one and just slide it down. Now, if it doesn't slide down easily for some reason, then just open it up a little bit so that it'll slide down. And then just line up that hole with the insert. And let's just take one of the Allen screws and then just put it in, but keep it really loose, okay? All right. Then we're going to install the second bracket. Again, it just slides on, so you match up that match up the hole. Start that through, thread it in, and again, keep it loose. All right. Now we're going to come back up and we're going to insert it in. So you put the longer tabs on the bottom and the shorter tabs on the top. So in other words, your screws are going to be facing towards the front of the bar. And then you're going to slide the long tabs in, tilt it down, put your hand over the top and squeeze these so that they slide in. Now if they're a little bit tight and you're not able to squeeze them in, then you can pull this out a little bit and just squeeze them a little bit before they're inserted in. Okay? Again, slide the long tab in first and bring the other sides down and pinch them in until you can insert both sides in. Okay? Once you've got them both in, then slide it all the way down and you should be able to see the holes line up on the front. Okay? Now you're going to grab 4 of your Allen wrench and go ahead and pick your Allen wrench up, okay? And now we're going to just go ahead and start all of these and just go ahead and tighten them up, finger tighten them, all right, get them all started. And if you find that the holes aren't quite lining up, then go ahead and just slide or put a little bit more pressure on the bar so that they get all the way down. It may be that you just didn't slide the bracket in far enough. Okay. And the last one on the back side over here as well. All right. Now take your Allen wrench, and we're just going to you can use it one of 2 ways. You can use it the tall way or the short way. We're just going to use it the tall way so that we can just bring all these up snug. We're not going to get them completely tightened yet. We just want to bring them up snug, okay? Just go around, snug everything up on these Allen wrenches, okay? There we go. Okay, we don't want to get them too tight yet because we're still getting everything assembled and we want to make sure that it seats correctly. Okay, you can set your Allen wrench down for now. Now let's just check to see that your unit is seated correctly. It should be sitting flat on the floor. It shouldn't be wobbling when you put pressure on it. I actually do want you to put a little bit of pressure on it, not your whole weight. Just put a little bit of pressure to make sure that all the legs are sitting flat. This is an important step right now. Okay, everything is still just finger tightened at this point. And we're just putting a little bit of even pressure on both sides of the bar, just to make it seat against the floor flat. Now we're going to come around and continue to finger tighten all the rest of these hex head acorn nuts that we did. Now when you're tightening the bottom base rod, it will tend to rotate a little bit on you until you get both sides tightened down. So just go around and tighten each one, finger tighten. Make sure they're all finger tightened. And go back around and check. Again, make sure it's nice and solid. Now we're going to use our wrench, okay, to go around and snug up all of the acorn nuts. So now when you use your wrench, make sure that it is flat against the bar. Okay, you don't want to tilt it out like this because then the edge of the wrench could run against the bar and potentially scratch your brand new bar, which you don't want to do. So all we're going to do is we're just going to tighten these up a little bit, snug them up, and you're just going to go around to each one of these and tighten each one up. Okay, we're just going to snug all of them up equally. So once it starts to get snug, then you want to stop. And same thing with the gusset, and the same thing with your base rod down here. Okay, so we snug all of them up. We go around all of them. Okay, it starts to feel snug, then move on to the next one. Double check the gusset. Again, we're just snugging everything up. So once it begins to feel snug, then you know you've finished on this round of tightening. Okay. So we've got everything snug. Everything feels pretty tight, and just double check it again. Make sure that it's sitting flat. Now, if it's not sitting flat, then all you'll do is you'll put a little bit of extra weight on the unit to try to seat it. If it doesn't seat and it feels a little wobbly, then go ahead and loosen some of these nuts back up, reseat it, and repeat this step. Okay? And now we're going to go back around one final time and just make sure that all of the hex nuts are tightened up. So this time, go ahead and give them a good little pull. If they loosen up a little bit, it may be that they just weren't completely snug the last time. You'll tell when it gets tight. Okay? Now, you do want to get your base rod tightened up. And as mentioned, you may need to hold on to it, keep it from rotating. Once it starts getting tight, you'll see that it'll stop rotating. And now your gusset, you don't want to get it quite as tight. So snug it up, but it's going to be one of these rotating ones. And then last is just double check to make sure your hinge is tight. All right, I'll come back over to the other side and tighten up these one last time to make sure everything is tight. There we go. Just tell this is pretty tight already. Okay. Okay. And again, I'll just make sure that this bar is nice and tight. Check the gusset. We're not going to over tighten the gusset, just keep it snug, and double check your hinge. So now we have all of the hex nuts tightened. Let's do one last check on our Allen wrenches. Screws that are up here at the top. Alrighty, let's get them tight. You remember the last time we went around these, we just snugged them up so that they were nice and snug. Now we finished getting our gussets on, and we've tightened everything up. Last part. There we go. Now we have the entire unit assembled, the base unit. Now we have the base unit assembled, and as you can tell, it's quite sturdy. It is capable of holding up to 250 pounds of downward force. And you should be able to check it and make sure that it feels nice and firm, doesn't wobble on the floor at this point. If it does, then back up a couple steps and repeat what we just did. Okay, now we're going to move on to installing our weight stacks. All right, so for our weight stacks, we're going to need 3 hex head screws. What you'll want to do is this goes with the cradle pointing up, all right, so that it can accept the dumbbells. And just line up the holes and start threading in the Allen screws, okay? Then take your Allen wrench. Now what you'll want to do as you begin to tighten it up is you want to lift, slide it up so that there's a little gap on the underneath side right down here. Okay? Keep the maximum gap as you can. So actually grab a hold of it and lift the unit up as you're tightening this first screw. Okay? And that way you end up with a slight gap at the bottom. And the reason for that is this way, as the unit hinges up and down, it has a little bit of clearance underneath this area right here. All right, once you got them snugged up, then flip your Allen wrench around. Oh, one last tightening on each one to fit into there. All right, so then we do the same thing on the other side. Take our final 3 Allen wrench screws. All right, and just like the last one, as you're tightening the screw up, you want to make sure that there's a gap at the bottom. So pull the unit upward as you tighten the first screw in. That way you give yourself a little bit of gap down at the bottom here. Okay? And that gap is so that as your fitness bar hinges and folds down, that there's enough space for it to rotate back up. Little turn. Okay, there we are. Now, a final step of assembly is we're going to install the booty kicker banner. All right, so first we'll unwrap it, and there's a little tissue cloth on the inside here. And what I like to do is just give it a little stretch first. Kind of like stretching out a new t-shirt, okay? Just give it a little bit of a stretch. Alrighty. And then to put it on, we open it up and insert it on one side, and then take and stretch it around on the other side. Now it's going to fit right in between the 2 hex nuts that hold the cross braces. Alrighty. And you should be able to place the seam of the banner on one end to where the booty kicker logo is nice and flat in the front. As such. And now your fitness bar is complete. Now we can load the weights onto it. So first up, we're going to put the heaviest weights on the bottom. Okay? The heaviest weights go on the bottom first. And that's to anchor the unit, and it places the heaviest weights the furthest out on the lever of how the booty kicker works. And we'll put the lighter weights. In this configuration, we have a 10, a 5, and a 3. That's typically what we recommend. You can place any kind of weights you want to. If you want to do heavier weights, it will give you the ability to do more pulling exercise. So once the weights are installed, it gives a lever effect and balances you so that you can actually do pulling type exercises, as you can see here. Now, depending upon how much weight you put on in the front, will counterbalance the exercises on the back. What you should always look for when you're doing pulling exercises or any kind of an exercise is first test the stability of your unit. You're going to find that it does have the ability to pull, but it will lift up if you pull too much in this direction. It has tremendous amount of strength on the vertical down. So a vertical down, it will hold 250 pounds. Now, the bar becomes less stable if you start pushing in this direction. Other advantage that once you can do pulling exercises, you can do pushing exercises by just doing the reverse. So for example, pulling exercise facing the bar, but once you reverse yourself, you can get into a pushing exercise. You can also perform pushing exercises where you're pushing down into the vertical plane. So either straight down or into the angle. Okay, and so now we're going to show you how to fold it down as well as fold it back up. It literally takes seconds. So as we assembled it, you saw that we used a quick release strap. So first we just release the strap. As we talked about before, use your thumb or your fingers to pull the gusset bar away and clear the bar and let it swivel on down. Now the other side is still holding the bar up, so if you can let your hand off of it, just know where it is. Now we're going to fold the strap underneath, leaving the Velcro up. All right, again, remember that, always the Velcro up. All right, and we're going to go to the other side and do the exact same thing. First we do the quick release on the strap and we pull the gusset bar out. Now this time we're going to hold on to the bar up above because we're releasing the last gusset bar. Alrighty, go ahead and bring it on down, swivel it on down, and as it's coming down you can let the bar come on down. And then just try to keep the strap holding it out as you swivel it on down. Now you can go ahead and pull this strap underneath. Again, the Velcro is up. Now we're going to wrap it around and capture the gusset underneath so that everything is contained with the straps. Pull all the way around until the Velcro catches. Now we do the other side as well. Again, the Velcro is up. We wrap it around once till the other side. I'm going to capture that gusset on the underneath side there. And now we go around the back side and just tilt it up. The wheels that are on the bottom engage as you tilt it up so that you can pull it with you, or you can slide it back, either way. Now to set it up is basically the same direction. Set back down. Then we come back over to release the straps. So release one side. Okay, just lay it back out. The Velcro is up. Back over to the other side. And we release it. Now you can lift it up. All right. And your gusset. And remember, Velcro is going to be up. So if your strap happens to pop off for any reason, just reattach it with Velcro up. All right. Wrap it around twice. The holes fit on the other end of the gusset each time. Back around the other side. Slides into place. Find the matching holes on the other side of the Velcro, and there we are. And you have your completed fitness bar. Enjoy.